Today we're going to talk about a classic blues standard written by Mo Kaufman back in probably the 60s or something, and it's called Swingin' Shepherd Blues. The reason I want to pick this one up and take a closer look at it is because of the melodic content. It's just such classic blues lines, and we're going to discuss why they are classic blues lines, and we're going to take a look at the chord progression as well. So let's begin by just listening to the melody. Okay, yeah, that was pretty close. So you get the idea. Now let's begin first of all by taking a look at the chord progression. It's such a simple chord progression, but it's so chock full of interesting things that are really important in improvisation and in writing and in understanding what's here. So the first chord, we're playing a blues, remember. We're playing a blues. So this is obviously a blues, but our first chord is a B-flat 6. And because it is a B-flat 6, I'm not playing a tritone at the beginning of the line, like this. Instead, I'm playing not the 7th, but the 6th. Right, so that 6 is very important, and as you can see, when we can from the B-flat 6, we have some movement that can happen here, and that movement is to the B-flat 7, and that sets up the move to the E-flat 7. Right, so the B-flat 6 is less tense than the B-flat 7. So we have some movement in the chord progression there, right? Then the E-flat 7, just the 4 chord. But what's happening with the melody there? We have this flat 9 on the E-flat 7, right? And so you can hear how that flat 9 is not weird. It's not like crazy jazz stuff. It just sounds great. It just spices up the chord a little bit and spices up the line of the moment. Then we return to the B-flat 7. And this is cool. It basically, we're going to the 2 chord in B-flat, C minor. And then we have the C sharp diminished, a passing chord. And then we have the B-flat chord, triad, with the D in the bass. So we've got this movement. Or this bass line. Which is a really nice bass line. And I don't personally use that movement enough. It's really lovely. And then it tops that off with the G7, secondary dominant, which is going to lead back to the C minor. Here's the G7 with the raised 9. Like this chord, except played here, and then returns to C minor, and B7, and then that gives us that B-flat 7 going to the E-flat 7 with that quick little movement of basically just a diminished again, and then F7, and it says returns to B flat here. I would just stroke that out because it's not a good idea to basically go to the B flat and then come back around to another B flat. You know, it doesn't give you movement. Okay, now let's just take a look at a little bit more in depth of what's happening melodically. So as I said, I'm playing that 6 in the line when I'm doing that double stop. So that double stop sort of re-emphasizes the fact that it's a B flat 6 chord, and I still have the melody on top. And then the same deal with when we go to the 7th, I play the tritone. Tritone is the core of a dominant 7th chord sound, so you should always know where your tritones are, whether you're playing with a B flat chord or E flat, right? Important to know when you're getting to that soloing stage. Okay, and then that's 6. There's my tritone, right? And that really sets up the next chord. And as you can see and hear, as I mentioned before, we have that flat 9. Walking up in that little sort of, I don't know what to call it. And then we have the 2 chord as if we were in the key of B flat, right? But, you know, even though we're playing a blues, we've got a 2 chord and the 5, or, right? And then B flat, E flat, diminished, and we've got that little, we've got this. Again, another nice chromatic line with a third of the B flat, E flat, passing diminished, and then the 5. And then we're back to the top. Now, what this tells us melodically is a few really cool things. Number one, when you're soloing, you want to be thinking not only of the 7th and the tritone, right? But you also want to develop lines with that 6th. There's that 6. And then there's our 4 chord, right? And when we play the 4 chord, we're not obviously not going to play the 3 of the 1 chord. We're going to stay away from that and define the notes of the 4 chord. You get the idea. You can hear these changes. Okay. So learn learn from a tune like this. For me, the takeaways are this. Hey, I'm playing a blues, and I don't always have to play a dominant 7th chord sound. And in other words, I can play a 6th chord sound. And then that moves, I can then move to the 7th, which sets up the 4 chord. And then we have that lovely little 2 chord passing diminished, and then the 3 in the bass, and the G7 with the raised 9 leading back. So there's several chromatic bass lines in here that are really nice to use. We've got the one from C minor to E flat, and we've got one from the 3 chord to the 5 chord, right? You might want to take this up an octave as well. And so on. You can work that out yourself. And there are, I'm sure, representations of this online. You can check it out on YouTube, and if you want to hear other people playing it, it's a classic. So I hope you got something out of that, and thanks for stopping by. That was Swingin' Shepherd Blues by Mo Kaufman. All right, see you soon.